Hello again, it's Noob, and in front of us is the Multipick Kronos electrical pick tool. And this is a very cool item, but I'm a lockpicker, so why am I reviewing an electronic pick? Well, a couple of reasons. One, yes, I am a lockpicker, but of course my channel has attracted a number of locksmiths, some of which who might be looking for a high quality premium pick tool like this. Another reason is I'm curious and interested to see what's out there, and I love premium products. And three, the more I've got into lock sport in general, as well as lock picking, the more I realise that sometimes you just need to get into a lock quickly to strip it down, to gut it, to make a practice lock out of, to open a lock quickly that doesn't have a key so you can explore the insides. Quite honestly, the number of occasions where I've had to use or wanted to use an electric pick has increased rapidly over the years. Anyway, enough about me whittering on about the whys. Let's have an actual look inside this and see what you get. So, in true Multipick style, everything has its place and everything is in its place. I just really like the way that Multipick presents all their stuff. It just is so nicely done. So what do we get? Well, let's just have a look at the main attraction. This actually reminds me a little bit of the new dimple picks in terms of that sort of milled handle with the rubberized grips on there. Really nice. Got the Multipick logo at the top with Kronos emblazoned across it. And overall, you've got to say that this looks stunning. There's the part number, of course, and serial number at the bottom. Really nice. Inside here, I've already put the battery in its correct orientation. And of course, I've given it a charge so I can do some demonstrations as well. But yeah, you've got to admit that as far as an electric pick tool goes, this is, well, in my opinion, the best looking one out there. So what else do you get? Let's just put that to one side for 1 second. You get a couple of tension tools, which is always appreciated because you can't use one of these without applying some tension. You can also buy tension rings, which provide a sort of a soft, controlled degree of tension. But if you're old school like me, you like to be able to feel the tension you put on and apply it manually. Then you get a hex key, which is for tightening this up, which is what traps the pick tips inside. Talking of which, they come in their own little case, and you can see here what you've got. And you can buy these separately should you need replacements on the Multipick site as well. Very nice, very thin and nice and long, and I really appreciate that because some of those locks, especially Euro cylinders, can be quite deep, and you don't want to just be picking the first 4 or 5 pins in a 6 or 7 pin lock, that's for sure. So here we go, a really nice long pick tip. That would go in here like this, and you tighten that up, and this control here is, well, you can see how it screws down to dampen this on its upstroke, so it travels either a smaller or greater amount depending on how much you tighten this. Then last but not least, this is where the battery came in, and this is the little charger in its own little bag. And what's nice about this is it runs off USB, and yes, you can charge it from a standard USB port. I think even on the website they said if you had a cigarette lighter, a charger for your van, then you could probably use that as well. So it's a very compact little charger there, which of course works. So how does one of these tools work? Well, you have the pick tip here, and if you look right down inside, you'll see there's a damper which stops the tool from traveling too far. You can tighten it to make it travel a little bit, or loosen it to make it travel further. And the idea is that this pick tip here will strike multiple pins all at the same time, bump them past the shear line, up into the Bible, and then hopefully you can catch all the pins at the shear line as they travel back down. So if you were a professional locksmith and you wanted to go out to a job, you see a low security cylinder, you might as well go grab your EPG because you're on the clock. The weather might be closing in. You might want to even go to your next job. Also, you can use a tool like this to get a quick false set on a lock. So if you see a high security cylinder, you might want to go for this as well. So you can do a hybrid mix of EPG and single pin picking. Okay, let's throw this in a vise and we can hopefully see how this works in reality. So we're in the vise. Hopefully you can see all of the driver pins here. If we pop the key in, you'll see them all hit shear line, and this is what we want the electric tool to do. Vibrate them to the right position. We're going to put the tool in this way and get, because it strikes down, and make sure that we hit the tops of the pins so they bounce freely and not the warding inside the lock. So light tension, put it in, and we're open. Only took a couple of bursts, and and the only reason it didn't get in first time is I think I rattled my tension tool out. There's a lot of vibration in this tool, there really is. So we have things like this Euro spec, a Master Lock 3, a kick cylinder, and a slightly higher security Yale with security pins in. Okay, let's have a look at a montage. I really like it, and I know that I am bowled over by its looks, and you've got to bear in mind this is €199.90 or £174 or thereabouts at current pricing. But you're also looking at a very well crafted tool designed for the professional market that works extremely well. I've been using this pick tip for a few hours now, and apart from some minor surface markings, as you'd expect for being vibrated inside metal locks, it's fared extraordinarily well. So it certainly holds up to some abuse, especially in my hands, which aren't particularly used to using electric picks anyway. So I'm probably a bit more heavy-handed than most, and it's still held up. So I would say in conclusion that if you were a professional looking for a very good quality, very stylish pick gun, I think that this Kronos might do you quite well. And if you were an amateur looking for just something fancy, well, yeah, don't look much further than this. This is clearly one of, if not the best looking pick tool I've ever seen. Alright, well, I hope you found that an informative review. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have one of these, how's it held up over time? Let me know that. And I'll see you all next time.